Christian brother kan ó ṣe ìwé kan mi mọ̀ bóyá ẹ ti kà àwọn tó ti kà wà bí dáadáa ó kó àwọn èèyàn jọ àti prophet àti wá àtàwọn èèyàn jàǹkì tó ti ṣàṣeyọrí láyé wàláhi tàláì anabi muhammadu ló fi ṣe number one ló fi ṣe number one Christian ló ṣèwé yẹn ló fi ṣe number one ó lò ní aláṣeyọrí tó ṣe àṣeyọrí jùlọ láyé Christian ló ṣèwé yẹn the most successful man on earth.
Had the ranking of 100.
One of the issues he also brought up was the issue of Michael Hart. Now, I've seen a lot of Muslims talking about Michael Hart, over the period of time. They have been talking about how Michael Hart ranked Muhammad as number one. They have been talking about how Michael Hart, showed the importance of the successful nature of Muhammad being a leader and all of that. And I'm very glad to use this opportunity to respond to that bogus claim. First off, it said that Michael Hart is a Christian brother. Now you ask yourself, why did he have to say that Michael Hart is a Christian brother? Now, why did you have to really make an emphasis on that? Now, he had to say that because he wanted to make it look like, wow, even the Christians recognize that Muhammad is the greatest. Even the Christians recognize that Muhammad is the most important person. You understand? Now, and I've seen a lot of Islamic scholars making that claim over and over again. And this is the same thing that this man is saying here. First of all, I want to show you that Michael Hart has no affiliation to Christianity when he was writing this book. Michael Hart was no minister, he was not a devoted Christian, so he was not like a Christian, writing from a religious point of view and discovering that Muhammad is the greatest. Nothing like that. Now, I know that it's very hard for you to believe. In fact, it's shocking for some of you, especially when you've listened to this man, you believe what he said, and you're discovering something different for yourself. But instead of me to just say it and you take my word for it, why don't you just let us consult a short biography of who Michael Hart is? Alright, I've gone online, I'm checking Wikipedia. Why am I checking Wikipedia? Because Wikipedia is an open source, you understand? The information is there for anybody to use, it's a general information, so you don't need to be biased on this one. It's a general information about this man called Michael H. Hart. Now check it on the screenshot there. I know you can see it right there. Here's what the Wikipedia has to say about this man called Michael Hart. It says Michael H. Hart is an American astrophysicist and author, most notably of the book, now talking about the book, The 100, a ranking of the most influential person in history. He has described himself as a white separatist and is active in white separatist causes. Now, when I check out what this white separatist is all about, I discovered that it's something closer to racism, even though it's not racism, but it's closer to having the superior feeling, an affiliation for the white than the other colors. Now, here's the other information about him. Michael Hart was born on April 28, 1932. He was age 22. He was born in New York City, in New York, in the United States. And the book he wrote, which is one of his book, and I believe is the notable book out of the books he wrote, is The 100, a ranking of the most influential person in history. And that's this book. That's the book that this man is talking about. That's the book that he said this Christian brother wrote. So as we can see, Michael Hart has no affiliation to Christianity when he was writing this book. He was just a researcher that has an opinion to express, and is entitled to his opinion, because actually we've seen a lot of people written books about great men, about people generally, and they rank different people as number one. That is their basic opinion, and that is the opinion of Michael Hart. But you discover that the Muslims have to use this, especially the scholar, to boost the morale of Muhammad, that the Western writers also regard him as a leader. I mean, not just a leader, but a very successful leader. Now, the second thing he said about Michael Hart, which is the most interesting part, which they don't even like us to check out, is that Muhammad is the most influential person. In fact, is the number one out of the most influential person in the whole wide world. But one thing that they refuse to let their audience know is that Michael Hart has a reason for saying that. Michael Hart has a reason for making Muhammad number one. But as you can see in the video, this Islamic preacher did not tell his audience the major reason. He was just telling them, okay, Michael Hart made him the number one. A Christian brother make him the number one. But why did Michael Hart make Muhammad number one? Let's check it out in the book of Michael Hart himself. And now this is going to be shocking for some people. Now let's turn to page 9 of Michael Hart's book. You can see that on the screen as well. And let us see what it says. Michael Hart say this about the reason why he ranked Muhammad as number one. He says Muhammad has been ranked higher than Jesus. There are two principal reasons for that decision. First, Muhammad played a far more important role in the development of Islam than Jesus did in the development of Christianity. Although Jesus was responsible for the main ethical and moral precept of Christianity, insofar as this differed from Judaism, it was St. Paul who was the main developer of Christian theology, its principal proselytizer, and the author of a large portion of the New Testament. Now check this out. Muhammad, however, was responsible for both the theology of Islam and its main ethical and moral principle. In addition, he played the key role in proselytizing the new faith and in establishing the religious practices of Islam. Moreover, he is the author of the Muslim Holy Scripture, the Quran, and the collection of Muhammad's statements that he believed had been divinely inspired. Can you check that out? Can you beat that? Michael Hart said that the two major reasons why they made Muhammad number one is because he is the one that developed the theology of Islam. That means he's the one that developed the major concept of the teachings of Islam. I know Muslims will find it very hard to believe, and they will never accept this because they believe that the theology of Islam was given to Muhammad by Allah. So meaning Muhammad was not the one that developed it. So they can never agree with Michael Hart on this reason. Second reason why Michael Hart said he had been ranked higher than Jesus is that, I know they find it hard to believe this as well, is that Muhammad is the author of the Quran. Now, no Muslims will accept that Muhammad is the author of the Quran. They will tell you that Allah is the author of the Quran. He only gave it to Muhammad as a revelation. So these are the two major reasons why Michael Hart ranked Muhammad higher than Jesus. Now, if the Muslims do not accept the reason why Michael Hart ranked Muhammad higher than Jesus, or the reason why Michael Hart ranked Muhammad number one, then that means they should also reject the ranking of Michael Hart as well. But the scholar did not tell them this. The Muslim man that was telling the audience about the story of Michael Hart and all of that did not reveal this vital information to the Muslims. Now, instead of you just believing again, like I said, you can just go online and search for the book of Michael Hart and about Muhammad and read this part yourself. Page 9. Read it yourself and see the reason why Michael Hart ranked Muhammad as number one. Number one, he ranked him higher than Jesus because he believed that Muhammad is the one that developed the teachings of Islam, meaning that Muhammad is the one that shaped Islam and then put in things that should be there and or should not be there. And secondly, it says that Muhammad is the author of the Quran. So if you believe the reason why Michael Hart made him number one, then you should be able to accept the reason and you should be able to align with what Michael Hart said. But I know that a lot of people will not want to align with that because they never believe that Muhammad is the author of the Quran in the first place. Again, this man presented the first view, lied to his audience, and he was able to deceive them on a larger scale.